Hello, I'm Charlotte Atchley, editor of Baking and Snack, and this is a Baking and Snack case study. Joining me today are Dan Myers, CEO of Carolina Foods, and Edmund Conson, Sales Account Manager for Schubert North America. Thanks for joining me, Edmund and Dan.
Nice to be here.
Thanks, Charlotte.
So, when planning a new bakery, Dan, what was Carolina Foods looking for in its packaging solutions for honey buns?
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. When we were engineering our new bakery, we were looking for a means of delivering the same high quality product, the same high level of service, and of course, a lot of scale to our customers. And so we were looking for a packaging solution provider that was reliable, proven, and working with some of the largest CPG companies around the world. Um, we were interested in a fully integrated system, meaning somebody who could be responsible for both the primary and the secondary piece. We were looking for something that was modular, something that could adapt or be adaptable as our business evolves, taking on new and innovative pack formats and also being able to add to the modules in case we needed more capacity. We were interested in the use of a vision system. We were interested in collecting data so that we as an organization could continuously improve. And of course, we wanted to build in enough redundancy that small disruptions in a packaging solution would have no lasting impact to our overall operation. And so those are some of the parameters that we were looking for when we went out to find a partner in honey buns in particular for our new bakery.
And why was Schubert the right choice when you took all of those parameters into account?
Well, for all the reasons I mentioned, or all the parameters that I mentioned earlier, Schubert checked all the boxes. Um, Having worked with Schubert in the past, I knew that their organization had worked with large CPG companies throughout the world. Their solution is, in fact, an inline solution, taking up a smaller footprint, that they have a vision system to satisfy our data collection. They um, provided us proposals for both primary and packaging. There's their solution is in fact modular, so it could be adapted over the course of time. So, like I said, they checked all the boxes. Not the least of which, too, was they are their North American headquarters is based right here in Charlotte. So, from a service perspective, we knew that we would have a very attentive supplier, or as a partner, I should say, in all of this. Um, I think, like I said, they checked all the boxes.
I would say that last part is probably paramount to everything. Technology can only go so far, but we view it as a long-term partnership. And so, right out of the gate, as we're installing, as we're then tuning, like Dan said, the proximity makes it that much easier for our technicians to support all of what Carolina Foods needs.
I could add, with any startup, you have variables that you have to work through, and it's important to pick the right partner who's going to work with you through the variables, or like I say, the wrinkles that need to get ironed out. And Schubert is demonstrating and has demonstrated that they have that level of commitment for the life of the system.
That sounds like a really great partnership, like everything kind of really came together. Dan, how did the Schubert unit that you guys invested in, how did that influence the rest of production as you were planning and installing the rest of this state-of-the-art production line?
That's a great question, Charlotte. We knew that we wanted to drive out variation from our process. And so choosing the Schubert system also drove us to to refine our process controls from start to finish. Something we intended to do anyway, and it was just going to lead to a much better outcome. For instance, we had to make sure our piece dimensions were constantly being monitored and delivered to the system within an agreed upon specification. We worked hard at our transfers. We worked hard at delivering our product in the right pattern to the Schubert system, again, leading to a very reliable outcome. We also looked at refining our packaging materials that we use, working with suppliers of packaging materials that could give us the high quality that we needed, day in and day out. And I'd also say that it also drove us to recruit uh, talent of a different nature, more technology skills that are required to run some of the more advanced pieces of equipment that we've now begun to install. So those are some of the things that partnering with Schubert or choosing the Schubert system led us to do, and I think ultimately um, will prove to be in the company's best interest.
I think Dan said it perfectly when he said the partnership and that feedback loop, especially as a result of the product shape and size that Dan mentioned in the vision system. That is not just something that we need as a supplier, but that's something that we can then provide feedback to Dan, to the customer, to help make their product better and more how they want to present it to the customer.
Well, thank you so much, Dan and Edmund, for joining me on this baking and snack case study.